And one of my top love languages is words of affirmation. Is that terribly selfish of me? I'm sorry, it's my love language. I'm not changing it. My second love language is physical touch, but my opening number would be applause.
He's lived through market crashes, musical crescendos, and the chaos of raising 3 kids. So if anyone knows how to balance risk and romance, it's Joey. Let's be honest, dating after 60 isn't for the faint of heart. You're navigating apps designed by 20-somethings, decoding emojis like ancient hieroglyphs, and trying to figure out if just friends means coffee or a 5-year situationship. Today, we're diving into love, legacy, and why emotional investments might just outperform your 401k. Buckle up. This one's got wisdom, wit, and maybe a few dad jokes. Joining me today is Joey Ventura, a man who spent nearly 40 years in finance, but don't let the spreadsheets fool you. He's also a songwriter, a show director, and the kind of grandfather who probably gives better dating advice than half the internet. Joey, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time.
What the hell are you going telling them that I'm over 60? Now women under 40 are not going to call me from this broadcast.
Like that's ever stopped you before, man.
No, it hasn't.
Don't lie. Don't lie to me. It just started here. Joey, you want to tell anybody, a little more of your history, why you're here, how you got here?
Well, I grew up in a really small town, and it's nestled in the foothills of the Catskills, the northern Catskills. I will say to this day, I'm just pretty darn naive, but I don't think I would trade that for anything. It's gotten me in a lot of trouble over the years and a lot of hardship, being as naive as I am. I like being a child. I can really relate to the movie Hook, like Peter Pan growing up and forgetting that he was Peter Pan. Like, I do not want to forget I was Peter Pan. In my 35-year marriage, I almost forgot. I mean, I can remember my brothers telling me, why have you changed so much? Because I was being compliant.
Gotcha.
So I guess the only thing I would add is that, I'm very naive. But I don't think I would trade it for anything.
So you've spent decades in finance and songwriting. What's harder, predicting the stock market or decoding a woman's silence? I've got a lot of acting skills, so when a woman goes silent, I just start talking. Women go. I think it's a good sign. A good sign when they go silent, because you're showing them that you're entertaining them. Women get silent sometimes in front of a television set because you got these flashing images, and you got this loud volume that's playing. And if a woman goes silent, in my opinion, the kind of silence that I think I'm seeing is that I'm entertaining her. And I want to be the lead. I want to lead the conversation, but I want to know about her. So a lot of it's going to be me asking her questions, because that's what I do in finance. I ask people questions, and the only way you're going to become part of the tribe is for them to feel like you are part of the tribe. And they feel like you're part of the tribe when you ask them lots of questions and you learn a lot about them. Isn't that strange? They don't necessarily have to know a lot about you to bring you in the tribe. You have to know more about them. That's all they're concerned about. It's like you're creating a certain level of trust and comfort and safety by just getting to know them, getting to talk about them.
I've been in the financial services industry, but I'll be honest with you, I've been more in the psychology business than anything else. Because when you get in front of a client, ultimately at the end of the day, you're going to say, would you grab your checkbook, because you're going to write out a check for $100,000. And in order to get them to that level, right, you have to have the amenities, the small talk, building trust, right? You have to create a problem. You have to solve a problem, and you have to pre-eliminate all the objections before you get to the close. So it's the same thing with women. Right? You have your amenities. Hi, how are you doing? Oh, I love your shoes and your blouse and where you're from. And you build the trust, right? The next thing you got to do is create a problem. Create a problem, then solve the problem, right? And then close the deal.
Can you give an example of what do you mean by creating and solving a problem?
Once you've gained trust with a woman, which is through the amenities, her problem will come out. Her struggle will come out, because her job is to be negative. Your job is to be positive, because they immediately in the back of their head say, he's trying to pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
So the most natural thing for them is to be negative, but to bring out the thing that's most negative to them.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, with anybody I meet with, within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I've gotten in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not too difficult, because if you're in control and you're asking all the questions, you're asking those questions so you can get in their head.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're in their head, you know what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
They will bring it out. So, for example, it'll come out that she was able to be there that night because she was able to get somebody to watch her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or what will come out is she really doesn't like her job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the problem will come out if you've done your small talk, your amenities for a long enough period of time. Mm-hmm. With my clients, okay, I need to find the problem with their finance.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that by asking questions. Oh, so where do you work? Oh, how long have you been there? Do you have a pension there? Oh, are you participating in the deferred comp? What percentage are you putting into the 401k? It's small talk really mixed in with, oh, I love the trophies that you have on the wall and tell me about your kids.
Yeah.
It's all intermingled together.
Yeah, I was thinking like I must have misinterpreted, because I was starting to think that you were like, well, we have to create a problem, but the problem's already there. It's just pulling it out.
We have to find the problem.
It's not like you're taking advantage of them. It's just like, where is that problem? What's going on? Why are you here? Type of thing.
It's partly creating it, because you're finding it and then you're accentuating it. It's their massage button. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then once you've found out the problem, you could solve the problem for them. And with a lot of women, they'd be like, wow, you're so wise. Wow, you seem extremely confident. Oh, you've got really good self-esteem. And they may not be saying that. They might say it, but it's in their inner monologue. Mm-hmm. And when you have presented yourself in a confident fashion, and you've shown that you can find the problem, you can solve the problem, you have facilitated an environment in which they can be in the mood. They decide, I like this person. Mm-hmm. I desire this person. This person is sensual. Mm-hmm. Because I believe that's what women look for. First of all, they want to make the decision. They don't want, you to pick them up and twirl them around and force, I'm going to go to first base, then I'm going to go to second base, then I'm going to go to third base, and then we're going to my place for home plate. They do not want that. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've been taught that. We've been taught that. First base, the first thing is you got to do is hold their hand, and then second base is you touch their hair, and third base is you put your hand on their hip, and home plate is you get to go home and have sex with them. Mm. That's what we've been taught. What we're being now taught in MOA is to friend zone them first. Be the first one to friend zone them. Show and keep your eyes like here. My eyes are here. Keep your eyes on their eyes, not at the cleavage that they're showing or their beautiful dress. And you don't have to compliment. Oh, you're so beautiful. You don't have to do all that. You make them friends. And when they're like, does he just want to be my friend? All of a sudden they're like, I think I want more. Mm-hmm. That's what goes through their mind, right? And is this manipulation? Is it persuasion? I guess it's a tool.
Or you're providing a safe environment.
It's a tool. Everything you have is a tool. Are you going to use it for good or for evil? This pen here that I have, right? I can write a beautiful poem with this pen. I can write a song with this pen. I can compliment somebody with this pen. I also can jab them in the eye with it. Every tool can be used for good or for evil. So the tools that we're learning in MOA, we can use it for darkness or we can use it for good. Where's your heart at?
Right. And MOA, Men of Action by Michael Sartain, right? Yeah. Shout out to Michael. You've raised 3 kids and now have 4 grandkids. So be honest, who gives better relationship advice? Your financial clients or your 8-year-old daughter?
Are you saying, say the question one more time, because are you saying, do I give better advice to my clients?
So who gives better who gives better relationship advice? Your financial clients or your 8-year-old granddaughter?
Mike, I learn from my clients in relationships by observing what happens in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, my daughter, my eldest daughter, gave me some great, and my son too, my youngest, gave me some great advice. My oldest daughter said, Dad, I've been going to psychologists to figure mom out for years, and this is she spelt it all out for me. She goes, this is what mom has. This is mom's problem. This is why things happened with mom, and this is what she tried to do with us. So she gave me great, relationship advice. But my son gave me the greatest of relationship advice. He came to me one day and said, Dad, you need to get rid of her.
Ooh. And you were married 35 years. And he said that. Wow.
Well, I was married for 35 years. I gave it my all. Right. I gave her everything she wanted. Right. I mean, she had a 6,000 square foot house. She had 24 acres of land. She got new cars whenever she wanted. We traveled to wherever she wanted to go. She could buy clothes. I mean, I still have clothes sitting in the barn with the tags still on them. Okay. She had an empty love tank. And buying things filled up the tank for a little while. And it was gone. And then she had to fill it up again, to the point where her own sister came to me at one point in time and said, and it was right around this time of year, it was in October, I'm decorating the property for Halloween, and I've got the bales of hay, and I've got the corn stalks, and I've got the lighting, and I'm decorating the property so that the 2 or 3 people that come down our 800-foot driveway can see that the house is all decked out in the Halloween theme. And her sister comes to me and goes, Joe, it just keeps getting bigger every year. And I said to her, I go, and I didn't know a lot at this point in time. I said, well, it makes her happy. I'm trying to make her happy. And her sister said to me, Joe, you're never going to make her happy. It's not something you can do. Ooh. So my kids gave great advice.
Yeah.
But I do observe a lot of relationships through my clients as well, and the people that I know.
Right. You're in a vocal trio and a long-term relationship with rhythm. What's the secret to staying in harmony when someone's off key emotionally?
Wow. Say it one more time, because I take a little while to absorb things.
Yep, I gotcha. Me too. You're in a vocal trio and a long-term relationship with rhythm. What's the secret to staying in harmony when someone is off key emotionally? To
take the high road. You got to take the high road. You have to be the gracious one. You have to be the one, it's like overcoming an objection. There's 5 steps to overcoming an objection. So you got this person who is being disruptive. You have this person that's giving you an argument. You have this person that's giving you an objection. So what you have to do is follow the 5 steps of overcoming an objection. And those are: restate the objection, look at something together. Restate the objection, sympathize, look at something together, soft close, and close. So if someone says, well, I don't really agree with that, I think, and they're trying to create an argument. Now in tennis, if somebody lobs the ball into your court and you pick it up and put it in your pocket, and then they lob another ball and you pick it up and put it in your pocket, and they keep doing that, and they're like, come on, I want to play tennis with you. And you just keep picking up the balls and putting in your pocket, what will the score be at that point in time?
You're going to lose no matter what.
It's 0-0.
Oh,
there's no score.
I thought they were serving into your court, and you're just taking on.
They are. They're serving into my court, and I'm letting it bounce on the floor.
Yeah.
There's no score, because you have to have volley, right?
Sure.
You have to lob it once for them to score a point. Okay. So now I think I know tennis. I have no idea. I don't know a lot about sports, but anyways, the score is 0-0. And if there's never any score, it's called love. in tennis, right?
Right.
Is that correct?
Yep.
So
Or if
the
someone
goal
doesn't
in an
have a score
argument,
yet. Yeah.
the goal in an argument is for the score to be 0-0.
Mm.
And how you do that is when they lob the hatred or the objection into your court, you just pick it up and put it in your pocket. And you look at it and you say, oh, so you want to play tennis with me? I restated the objection. I can understand that. As a matter of fact, if I was dressed like you and I had a racket in my hand and we were here on the court and we have it for the next hour and a half, I'd want to play tennis too. I sympathized. Well, but let's take a look at something together here. If I lob this back into your court, you could lose. I could gain more points than you. So therefore, if I never lob it back into your court, then the score is going to be love. So now I looked at something together and I'm soft closing and I'm getting them to agree that it's better to have love than it is to have a win. And then I close, I go, that makes sense, doesn't it? So, and you don't have to do it that, sterilely.
Sure.
But if you can weave that into a conversation in an argument, those skills, that skill set works.
It really takes, and it's about removing emotion from it too, and just kind of like looking at it in a very mature and relaxed frame of mind.
That's right, Glenn. You removed the emotion because you didn't facilitate an environment of conflict.
Yes.
If you facilitate an environment of conflict, there will be emotion.
That's returning that ball with the hardest backswing you could ever think of, and it's going to go right over the fence, and you're going to really lose the game from that point on. It's like it's just a no-win scenario.
I kind of learned this early on because I would play board games with my spouse, and if she lost, the next day would be hell.
A little competitive.
She didn't want to lose.
Oh, dang.
And so it bing went on in my head. Oh, to lose is to win. If I lose to her, I get to win. Because after all, if you win at a board game, what do you win?
Bragging
the game?
rights.
You get nothing.
Right.
You get absolutely nothing. So if at the end of the game, she wins and she gets absolutely nothing, and I wouldn't have gotten anything if I won, why don't I just lose to her and let her win so that I gain something, which is happiness.
Or peace. There's no arguments the next
Didn't cost me anything.
Right.
It's like apologies. Like the dentist is in your mouth, right? And he's drilling away and he's poking you. And every time he pokes you, you go, ah. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. Is he really? He has to say that 400 times a day. I think when dentists go to school, their first course 101 is sorry 101. They learn how to say I'm sorry because it doesn't cost them anything.
Right. Oopsies. You've been in the investment world for 40 years. What's the ROI on vulnerability in a relationship?
As long as you don't compromise your values, you can be vulnerable, but never let them see you sweat.
Agreed.
You can't expose your Achilles heel all the time.
Yeah. From my understanding and personal experience, when you bring an emotion and you're being vulnerable and emotional, it is not a very good way to go. You're not going to get much sympathy. I've learned to just say, this is what I'm working on. If I really trust a person, like this is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
And this is what I am working on.
I think there's a passage in Shakespeare that talks about the chink in the armor. And the word chink basically describes a place in the armor in which a sword can slide in and kill.
Yep.
Okay. So when you're vulnerable, you're exposing your chinks in your armor.
Yep.
And unfortunately, in the opposite of the rules of fair fighting, when a woman knows your vulnerability, she knows your massage button, she knows the chinks, where the chinks are in the armor, she will use them and take advantage of them.
Hopefully not all women, There are a few out there that won't do it. But yes, I've personally encountered that and I've seen that happen, and it's ugly when it's taken advantage of, and it's unfortunate.
Well, the minute, because I was in a relationship, obviously, that ended in a divorce, but the minute that a woman starts doing that to me, she knows the chink and she's sliding in the sword. As soon as she does that, I go, oh, okay. So you want to spar with me? That's cool. So it's okay if we both take off the gloves. Because I'm okay with taking off the gloves, but understand something. Everything I say from this point going forward, after I take off my gloves, I probably don't really mean, because it'll be said out of anger or the ability to try to win this argument. Do you really want to spar with me? And they, no, I don't want to argue. Then stop sliding that sword in the chink in my armor. Right. Because you will get me to take off my gloves. And I'm really good at it because I've been in sales for 40 years. And if I want to manipulate or persuade you to think or do something, I will do it. Plus, I'm a Taurus and I'm a pit bull. So you combine being a Taurus and a pit bull and a salesperson all together, you don't want to argue with that person.
So what would you say?
It will never end.
Yeah.
It'll end probably with the cops being called at one point in time.
What would you say to a guy who's not as versed? What do you say to a guy who's just like, I don't know how to handle these arguments? And what you're describing is like what happens to me a lot. And that's why my last relationship ended. And
first of all, read Winning Friends and Influencing Others. Crucial Conversations, the book Crucial Conversations. Dale, you got it right up there, right?
I've got Say the Right Thing. The one thing I have it on audio, Audible.
Yeah. So what I would say to a guy is, listen, our fathers, as much as we want to say we had the greatest fathers in the world, they didn't teach us a lot of things. Right. So you need to go get knowledge and information and skills. To the guy that doesn't have the skills, you need to go get the skills. Join an organization like Men of Action. Go take a Dale Carnegie course. Go start reading or listening to Audible books while you're in the shower and you're driving in the car. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. Men perish for a lack of knowledge. And the evil one, the dark force, wants to keep us in the dark. He wants to keep the veils in front of our eyes, because at one point in time, the darkness, forgive me for being spiritual, I'm just going to get spiritual for a minute. The darkness wants us, ultimately, the darkness's goal is for us to raise our fist at God and say, why did you do this to me? That's the darkness's goal. And it's not God's fault. We're creatures of habit. We take the path of least resistance whenever given the opportunity to do so. It's our fault. And the enemy whispers in our ear saying, take that fruit from the tree. Because if you take the fruit from the tree, you will be as gods. The first lie in the garden.
As a songwriter, do you ever write lyrics that double as apologies? Like, sorry, I forgot our anniversary, but here's a ballad in A minor.
I sing to women often when they're in frenzy. I have this skill of having a conversation, and there'll be a key word that reminds me of a song, and I'll just sing that lyric for just a short while. And here's the thing about music and singing to women, and this is true. So King David, when he served under Solomon, he went nuts. I mean, he was a crazy dude. And he would ask David to come in to play the harp. And when David played a song, Solomon would calm down. And that's where that phrase comes from. Music soothes the savage beast. So with women, when you sing to them, or you sing a little line from a song, or you bring up a melody, and it comes from your frequency and your heart, they melt. So yeah, it's a great tool that will aid you in having an effective conversation.
So you're saying all the men out there that might be listening to this who are getting over relationships, they should learn how to sing?
Definitely. And go to karaoke because you can show being vulnerable at karaoke, and you can sing that love song to that woman sitting at the bar who happens to be the woman who's with you. And you can be vulnerable by saying, and she goes, he can't sing. He's terrible, but I love it when he gets up there and sings to me. They don't care if you really can't sing.
Right.
Right. And like Michael said, if a guy has sex with a porn star while his wife's pregnant and still gets elected being president, who cares if you were terrible at karaoke last night?
Right. Right.
As long as you start president.
Yeah. As long as you start the karaoke way with "This one's for my girl over at the bar."
Or you just stare at her while you're singing.
Or
and no one else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 90% of communication is body language, not words. Right? Like we've heard that, right? Like I'm going to stop listening to your words and I'm going to start looking at your actions. Because the actions speak louder than words.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. And that's one of Michael's mantras is like, look at the actions, not the words. And it tells you everything you need to know.
What a great mentor.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You've directed shows, built businesses, and raised a family. What's your go-to move when life feels like it's all happening in the wrong scene?
Creativity. To default to creativity. Because when life feels like it's out of control, when you get over to the creative center in your brain, which happens to also be the sleep center as well, everything feels right. And so if I'm having a restless night's sleep, I will put myself into my sleep center by being creative. When life seems out of control, I'll pick up my guitar and sing a song or listen to music. Or I'll write a poem. Poetry, oh my gosh. Poetry got me out of pretty close to jumping off a bridge. I would get up in the morning. I was worried. I was frustrated. I was in a frenzy, in a panic. And I would the sun was rising and I'd write a poem about that sun. And that's what got me through. So when life is in chaos, God gave us two lobes of our brain. Do not stay on the logical side of your brain when you're in chaos. Go over to the emotional side of your brain, feel, explore, present moment awareness, attitude of gratitude, and everything becomes great again. And when someone calls you first thing in the morning and says, oh, I need this by 2:00 this afternoon, blah, 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 you say, you get online with everybody else.
What you reminded me of is a possible solution or way to get out of ruminating, right? Like you're just ruminating, trying to make a logical answer out of something that you'll never get the answer from. That's how I heard ruminating is. It's like you're chasing after an answer that will never come.
Right. Repeating the problem does not solve it.
Yeah. You'll never get the answer. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Brilliant.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I can tell you've had life's bumps and bruises.
Just a few bumps. Just a couple, Joey. Just a couple.
Yeah.
What's one emotional truth you wish you could have shorted in your 30s? And then what's the long-term investment you're proud you held on to?
I'm proud I held on to my naivete. I still don't, the jury's not out on that, whether or not that was a good thing or not. But I'm very proud and happy that I held on to that. And the first question was?
So what's one emotional truth you wish you could have shorted? Financial question. In your 30s.
Emotional truth, thinking that, picture this, there's this sharp corner. And I say, I can round that out. And then I just keep taking my head and banging it against the sharp corner. And thinking, if I bang my head against that sharp corner enough, it'll round out eventually. It's the knowledge of understanding what is impossible. Because I had such a high level of self-esteem. My parents did such an incredible job at facilitating an environment in which I had good self-esteem. I thought I was strong enough to do anything. I was strong enough to fix my marriage. I was strong enough to fix this person who has this strange emotional thing that happened before I met her. I could take salespeople and turn them into salespeople, even though they're not ever going to be good at being a salesperson. I just thought that the ability to recognize quicker discernment. But that's the thing. I'm so naive, so I have I had, and probably still do, a lack of discernment. So it's the ability to have better discernment.
I don't see a problem holding on to your youth and youthful joy and sense of humor, and I could see that in you still.
Yeah, thank you. It's just hard to figure out when you turn the switch on and off.
Personally, I don't think I try not to. The only time I get serious try not to. The only time I do it is like when I'm working, and even then it's hard to turn it off sometimes.
Yeah, I took this. I think that I've admired Machiavellian theory, which I believe is people have to love you and fear you at the same time to be a good leader. So when you have employees, they have to love you, but they also have to fear you at the same time.
Sure.
And I think that you can't just be a child all the time, because the child is the person people like. They're always so fun, and he's always joking around, and he's always making me feel good about myself and edifying myself. And if you just do that all the time, they get no freaking work done. There's got to be some fear there. Like, dude, you got to be on time.
Sure.
You got to do the work. We can't be looking at your cell phone all day, being happy and joking around. Yep. We got to get some work done.
You got to bring out accountability. That's when the seriousness comes in. Got to be accountable. You got to be accountable. And that takes an adult.
Yeah. There's actually a very good test online. It's called the Dark Triad.
Yep.
And you know it.
I haven't taken the test, but I know the Dark Triad.
Yeah. It measures your narcissism, and it measures your Machiavellianism, and it measures your psychopathy.
Right.
And I looked at the narcissism score that I got, and I had some compassion for the women that called me narcissist.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Is there something else I should know before we continue with this?
Well, just understand something, that narcissism, you have to have a certain level of narcissism to be a good leader. So narcissism is a tool that, if you have it harnessed properly, it is a tool for good. There's a lot of great politicians that are narcissists, but they have it reined in.
Right.
And there's plenty of narcissist politicians that don't have it reined in.
Right.
And they cause a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
But if narcissism is held, I get this picture, like the scene in Gone with the Wind, where they're throwing all the luggage on top of the wagon. They're trying to get out of the burning city. And they get out of the burning city. But you know why they got out of the burning city? Because somebody had the foresight to put the blinders on the horse so that the horse couldn't see the flames on either side of the street. And all it could see was the way out. So every day, chaos is the flames, right? We need to take the time out in the morning to put the blinders on and say, there's my goal. That's where I'm going. The city's going to burn down around me, but I'm getting out with my valuables.
Right. Brilliant. If you're laughing, nodding, or suddenly questioning your entire dating history, don't worry, you're in good company. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with someone who needs a little emotional clarity or comic relief, and help us grow a community where seasoned wisdom meets soulful storytelling. Because let's be honest, therapy is expensive, but this podcast is free. Let's continue.
Bravo.
Yeah. Joey, you've seen love evolve across generations. What's one piece of advice you'd give your grandkids about dating that would have made your younger self roll his eyes?
Have her take every friggin' test you can get your hands on to figure out whether or not you are actually equally yoked. Like a lot of churches do this thing called pre-Canaan, and it's like, you sit with the pastor for like 3 sessions and you take tests. And then at the end of everything, he says whether or not you're compatible or not. And then you go and get married anyway, whether no matter what he says, because you're just in love. What I would say to my grandchildren is, listen, if one ox is weak and one ox is strong, and you put the yoke on both of their necks, they will go in circles. And if you want to go in circles with a woman, just get one that's weaker than you. You want to get a woman where you're equally yoked spiritually, physically, mentally, politically. You really got to hunt. You want to hunt for a woman? Don't just hunt for a woman that physically says, that's what I want. Hunt for a woman that is beautiful with the way she thinks, the way she loves you, the way she adores you, the way she cooks for you, the way you want to serve her. You want to wash her feet. You know, that's adoring a woman. It's like there's so many. So that's the advice I would give listen, the single most important decision you ever make in your life is who you get married to. Why are you basing it on the fact of the way she dresses or how hot or how big her breasts are? Why? Because that our hormones take over, and that's all that's important to us at that age, right? But if you're going to listen to your old man, do me a favor. It's okay to pick out a beautiful woman, but make sure that she is equally yoked with you before you go and buy a ring.
Yeah. What about a granddaughter?
What would I tell my granddaughter? I'd say, listen, opposites attract. If you're strong and you have good self-esteem and you're a problem solver and you're smart and you're all these things, guess who's going to be attracted to you? The opposite. Be aware of that. Do you want to be with the opposite for the rest of your life? You are going to be completely unequally yoked if you pick a partner who needs you.
Yeah.
Opposites attract. Be aware of that. You're going to be attracted to a guy that you can save. You're going to be attracted to a guy that you can change. And guess what? The time for change was prior to 13 years old. He probably is who he is, and you're not changing him. You're not going to mold him and shape him into what the Prince Charming. You're not going to. You're better off finding a Prince Charming rather than.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joey. Go.
Rather than finding somebody that needs to be shaped and molded into one.
Yeah, I think I heard this from a nice guy, Mr. J. I think he said hopium is a bad drug. Don't hope for change. Don't hope that you will be able to change him. This person is probably who he is. Watch his actions more than his words.
Right, but Disney says when you wish upon a star, we're being fed that.
Right.
You can wish upon a star, Glenn, and that person will get fixed.
But that's not reality.
Not.
Yeah. Joey, you've lived through disco, dial-up, and dating apps. What's the most ridiculous relationship trend you've seen, and how would Joey Ventura remix it?
I'll be honest with you. When online dating first came out, as a married man, I was like, oh my gosh, if I had access to that when I was dating in my 20s, oh my God, I definitely would have found the right woman. But now that I have dating apps available to me, it's an abomination. I mean, thousands of swipes, and the scammers play into this. Like the scammers, this is the biggest place that they scam, because you got these men and these women with these vulnerable hearts. Oh, yeah. They're just excellent prey. So 1/3 to maybe 50% of every woman or picture of a woman that you're talking to is some guy in South Africa or some Chinese girl in a. I swear to God, I've been able to reveal these people. Like this one girl, she's like insisting that she was real, and I'm like, okay, but let's do a video call. And they actually had a setup set up with a couch, and it was like a movie set. They had set up. And I said, now revolve your camera around the room. And she couldn't do it because the rest of the room was an empty warehouse.
Right. Whoa.
It's $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
Dating apps. You guys want to waste a lot of time? Spend it on dating apps.
Yeah. They definitely do not favor men, that's for sure. And I didn't even think about all of the scams that are on there, but what is it?
Well, if you're extremely manipulative and persuasive like myself, you know all the tricks.
Right.
And how to expose them really quick.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a lot of people that you're going through to find the real ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. On dating apps, and this is the good side of dating apps that I found prior to Men of Action. Mm. I found on a dating app a woman who was 18 years my junior, and I swear to God, Glenn, she was like a Victoria's Secrets model. Mm. And I'm on this first date with her, and I'm like, what am I even doing in this car? There's no way this woman would ever be attracted to me. And I found her on a dating app, and guess what? Mm. We were together for 18 months.
Whoa.
And she loved me. Glenn, she goes to me, she goes like this. She goes, I think the reason why sex is so good with you is because I love you. And I haven't loved all the other men I've been with prior to you. Like, that almost sounds fake, but she meant it. Mm-hmm. Because it was 18 months. I mean, you don't carry that out for 18 months. Right. But maybe that's my naivete kicking in. I have no idea. But it was an amazing relationship. And to this day, we still talk. We're still friends.
Nice.
And there's some flirting going on. But
good for you.
I can't go back to that situation because her situation is so dysfunctional that she's not dysfunctional. The situation she's in is dysfunctional.
Okay. I got you.
And then recently, this past weekend, I met somebody. It was because even when you stop using dating apps, you still have this host of women that are in your phone, and you get texts and emails and things to that effect still. Mm-hmm. And so she had recontacted me after a long period of time, and I had a great weekend.
Good for you. Nice.
That's why I have a cold right now.
We don't need to get into the germs. That's funny. If your love life were a musical, what would the opening number be called? And would it involve jazz hands or just a lot of sighing?
What is it that we're living for? Applause, applause. Nothing I know brings out the glow like sweet applause. That would be the opening number. Mm-hmm. And this might be terribly selfish, but I have love languages. There's 5 major love languages. And one of my top love languages is words of affirmation. Is that terribly selfish of me? I'm sorry. It's my love language. I'm not changing it. My second love language is physical touch. Mm-hmm. But my opening number would be applause. I want a woman to admire my skills, talents, thoughts, creativity. I want her to admire that. Mm-hmm. And I admire some things in her that are pretty damn superficial too.
Nice. You've built a legacy in both finance and music. How do you want your relationships to echo when the curtain finally closes?
That's a great question, Glenn. So God gave us 2 lobes of our brain, a logical and an emotional, creative, emotional, and a logical, logistical brain. Mm-hmm. He gave us these fibers that connect the 2 lobes of those brains. We have the ability to flash back and forth between those 2 lobes. And in actuality, and you can fact check me on this, women actually have more fibers that connect those 2 lobes of the brain. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, with that said, say the question one more time.
You've built a legacy in both finance and music. How do you want your relationships to echo when the curtain finally closes?
Yeah. So finance, logic, music, emotion, creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be an incredible display of logic and emotion, creativity with logistics. And when the show is over, the audience gets up from their seat because the balance between the two was genius.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive. What's one moment in your life that felt like a rom-com blooper, but ended up teaching you something profound about love?
I am a person that likes to always be in control, which is why I don't drink. I believe that when you drink, you're not fully able to be in control. However, being out of control in love is something I think God wants us to experience. For example, Joe would never get naked and make love to a woman in an open field. That is completely logic Joe. But I had a girl once that said to me, let's go take a walk. And I remember her name was Jerry. And Jerry said, let's go take a walk. And I go, Jerry, it's raining outside. We're going to get wet. And she looks at me and goes, yeah, so what?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever walk in the rain and let the mud squish between your toes? And I was like, no. I mean, I could only hear my mother's voice echoing in my head. Mm-hmm. Don't go outside. It's raining. You'll get wet. You'll catch a cold. Because my parents came from that Depression era where like infant mortality, child mortality was high. Mm-hmm. So you didn't get wet. You ate too much food. You put a coat on. You did all these things, right? And Jerry was saying to me, it's okay. Let's go walk hand in hand in the rain. Let's go get wet. So when I allowed myself to let go of my logic and just be totally emotional, it was so rewarding. And it's something God wants us to experience frequently.
Mm. How old were you?
I was 24. It was right before I got married.
And you just decided, let's do something a little outside the comfort zone, if you will.
Yeah, it was that let's get naked and have sex in the tall grass.
In the middle of a thunderstorm or raining?
Well, that was another scenario, the tall grass.
Oh. There's so many, isn't there, Joey? You just can't keep track.
Not really. I wish I could refer back to more of those situations. But never stop yourself from never be too logical all the time. Live on the creative side once in a while.
Yes.
Because that's where the music comes from.
Yeah. I need to do a better job at that myself. I'll admit that right off the bat. If you could
crazy things, just do something crazy to get in the zone of that.
Yes. 100%. I would agree with that.
Do karaoke. Do you do karaoke?
I don't. I don't sing very well, man.
See, there's you have it. It doesn't in karaoke. It doesn't matter how good of a singer you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about getting up and doing it because a good karaoke crowd, the worse you are, the more they clap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the real karaoke crowd. They encourage the bad singers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you get off going, was I that good?
I must have been really great.
No, we just clap louder for people that were terrible.
Yeah. No, you really were bad.
It's an edification process.
Sure.
Karaoke is an edification process.
Sure.
And real karaokeers get it.
Right. Right.
They're just happy that somebody else joined their church.
Sure. Well, it's also going to allow you a little more comfort to do it again. And then again and again. And then you're part of the crowd. And then before you know it, you're like, it was horrible. You go up there and do it again.
I've seen women very attracted to the men who get up and sing, who have terrible, worst voices, stage presence, everything. Mm-hmm. They're more attracted to those guys than the guys that are sitting at the bar like they're frozen and can't get up.
Yep.
And can't have a conversation and can't loosen up and can't have a good time. They're attracted to those guys that get up and sing.
Yeah.
But the guy that's sitting at the bar, they don't trust that guy whatsoever.
Isn't that interesting?
When they get up and sing, there's a level of trust that they have with that man.
Why do you think that is?
Because you showed vulnerability. You said you showed humility.
Mm-hmm.
And women want to see that men are humble.
Yeah.
Humility shows them, oh, he's humble.
Yeah.
He's got humility. He's not a serial killer. He has feelings.
Yes. Yes.
Because serial killers have no feelings. They have no empathy.
Right.
They want to see you have empathy, feelings, emotion, humility. They want to see all that.
Right.
And you could stay in control still and show all those things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's amazing. I have a buddy, loves to do karaoke, loves rap, and I think it was like an Ice-T song or something. Gets up there, and it's on the things, it's on an elevated stage, and this thing is like almost like a pastor stage where he's like almost a person high. So he's way up there. And he gets up there and he starts just messing everything up. It's just the lines, everything, but he knows the song and he got nervous. You could tell, and everyone's like, come on, man. And everyone's like, when you hear some grumblings. And then something where he's like, he was like, screw this crap. And it just clicked. And he just started rapping and he went with everything and he starts bouncing and everything. And by the end, within 10 seconds, it went from, oh, geez, this guy sucks, to everybody was just like going along with it and bouncing up and down. And in the end, he was like this hero. It was amazing.
What did the women observe? What did they observe?
He overcame his fear.
And he overcame his fear, and they got to observe that on stage
in real time. Yes.
You couldn't have spoken more words that are going to win a woman's favor than that.
Right. Oh yeah. It was impressive. It was really cool because you could see he was so nervous. And he's like, oh, and then it just suddenly he put his head down for a second. He's like, gee, man, come on. And then he just got into it. And then by the end, everyone's just bouncing like, oh my God.
Yeah. And he got off stage and everybody's high-fiving him and fist pounding him, and the women are throwing their arms around him. Oh my God, you did it.
Oh yeah. He killed it. Yeah. It was amazing. It was great. It was great to see.
Karaoke is a great place to move around the room. A restaurant, can't move around the room. You can't just walk over to some woman's table. That's her table.
Right.
But at karaoke, you can walk over to a woman's table because you just finished a song and you say, nailed it. Fist pounding, nailed it.
That is
so where are you guys from? You see what I'm saying?
That is hilarious.
You can go to any table in a karaoke bar.
Oh, and everyone's your friend. Oh, after that, everyone's your friend. Oh my gosh.
We're all one.
Yes.
We're all part of the same tribe here, folks.
Yeah.
Pick a bride.
Oh my God. Oh,
I was going to say squaw, but I knew that would be politically incorrect.
Oh man. If you could write a song titled Dating After 60, what would the chorus be? And would it include a warning label?
I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was. That's the name of the song. It's a real song.
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah, he sings, I ain't as good as I once was. It's a story about a cowboy in a bar. And these two girls come over to him and they want to have sex with him because he represents stability and manlyhood and, he's gentleman. But these two girls, they want to do it with him. They want to have a threesome. And he's like, okay, girls, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was. So it's a great song. That would be my song after 60.
Oh my God,
someone's already written it, so I can't rewrite that one.
That's all right. You can do it. You can sing it. You've helped people plan for retirement. What's your advice for emotionally retiring from old heartbreaks and bad habits?
So healing and approaching that precipice. Don't worry when you get to the rail. There's a rail there from keeping you from falling over the edge. So picture this: you and I get in a car. We're in Vegas, and we're going to drive to the Grand Canyon. I don't know, 4 hours, whatever.
Right.
Something like that. And we're talking about, oh, it must be so majestic, and we're building it up, and the colors, and I hope the weather's good. And the whole 4 hours we're building this up. We can't wait to get there. We get there after the long ride. We open it. We fling the doors open. We're like running to the precipice. But right before we get to the edge of the precipice, we slow down because we know there's an edge there. And even though there's a rail there that will stop us from falling off the edge, we slow down a little bit. My advice to people is don't slow down. There's a rail there. It'll stop you from falling off the edge. Go 100 miles an hour. Do it. Live life. You don't know if you're going to be alive tomorrow morning. I mean, I talk about this with men and women all the time. They go, why are you like this? And I'm like, I'm 63 years old. I don't know when the next bus is going to hit me.
Right.
And that's the truth for anybody at any age. You don't know when the bus is going to hit you. So, like I think the Spartans said, they said, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. See, they knew they were going to die because they were going up in a battle against 10 times the number of people that they had on their army. So they're like, guys, we're just going to eat, drink, and be merry tonight because tomorrow we're going to die. And I think if we all wake up in the morning after we set our bed and we say, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die, you're setting the bed because you're assuming you're going to get back to your bedroom that night. And the bed's going to be set, so it's going to make you feel like you're getting into a fresh bed. But on the same token, right after you make your bed with the full expectation of returning to your own bed, you say to yourself, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Present moment awareness, right?
Right.
There is no worries after you say that to yourself first thing in the morning. There's no anxiety. There's no chaos. Oh, really? That project needs to be done by 4 o'clock? Sun's going to rise tomorrow, and it's going to set.
The world will still continue. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're replaceable.
Yes. Final question. If love were a portfolio, what's your top asset? And what's the one thing you'd never invest in again, even if it came with a free dinner and a charming smile?
So I believe you're running a portfolio. Okay, your relationships are like a portfolio. And there is growth in a portfolio and there's income in a portfolio. The income is the bond-related producing securities, real estate, utilities, things to that effect. The growth is the stocks that don't produce really a very strong dividend, but they have that unlimited upside potential, okay? In any relationship that you have, I would say a 60-40 blend of growth and income is the proper blend to have. Now, don't ever be afraid of increasing your growth portion or increasing the income portion of your portfolio when the environment calls for it. Like you don't, for example, many years ago, there used to be these things called balanced funds. And they were traditionally this thing called 70-30, where 30 maybe would start off with bonds and 30% would be stocks. But when it was a bear market, which meant when the bond market was doing well, they would actually reverse that to be cyclical in nature, to buy up the stocks when they're low. You deplete your bond areas. So I'd say your relationship should be similar. Keep your finger on the pulse of what your relationship needs in its portfolio. You are the priest of the household. Yeah, it's been paraphrased, the man is the king of the house. No, that was done that way to suppress men. The man is the priest of the household. He is responsible. God made us physiologically capable to be the best priest of our house. Hold, not women. They're good at other things, but not being the priest of the household.
If the man is the priest of the household and he's keeping his finger on the beat of what his family, his relationship, or even if he's just in a relationship needs, if he's constantly analyzing, dissecting, and saying, what does my marriage need next? He's constantly on the hunt, which is what we were made to do, is to hunt. Women gather, men hunt. But here's where men go wrong. And the women are going to say, amen on this one. Men bag the deer, they got their kill, and they stop hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you need to romance your wife, your girlfriend, constantly. You need to be facilitating an environment in which is conducive to her mood all the time. That's your job as the priest, to have your finger on the pulse of what is going on in the relationship and to make changes. And if that change is you go out and buy a pharaoh costume and keep it hidden from her, and one night you walk out in the pharaoh costume, that's what you got to do. You do what you got to do. Keep it spicy.
Yes.
Keep your finger on the pulse. You are responsible for the mixture of the portfolio of your relationship.
A lot of guys, once they get a ring on the finger, they think they can just not do anything else. They don't need to improve themselves. They don't need to, keep working out. They don't need to eat right or do all these things. And I call that coasting. And when you're coasting through life, you're going downhill.
Right, but feminism has enforced that. They have, they want the man to be the beta. He's going to get the fat. He's going to get lazy. He's going to facilitate that environment. They'll go to the extent of putting the white picket fence in front of the house to keep the other women out. That's what the white picket fence is for, to keep the other women out. And my spouse did this to me. Immediately, she wanted to move out of the city into the country.
Yes, remove you from all the competition.
Keep me from other women.
Yep.
Less women, less possibility.
You're not going to create that anxiety of other people being,
And she didn't get it. I was the most loyal guy that she would have ever married in her entire lifetime, as I'm sure you were as well. Loyalty, our parents showed us that. Yes. My dad showed me loyalty. He'd stop me because we were in the restaurant together, and he would stop me as a kid, and he'd say, Joseph. And I'd be like, what, Dad? I'm busy. I got tables to serve. He's like, your mother. She's the only one. He was trying to teach me one woman. That's it. That's what he was teaching me. He taught me loyalty to the extent, Glenn, that it exceeded my common sense. People say to me, why did you stay in a marriage for 35 years if it was that way? And I said, because my loyalty exceeded my common sense, which is why my son needed to come to me and go, Dad, you need to get rid of her. God knew that I needed to get that message from my son. And how sad is that?
Well, if that's what it needed to take, if that's what it needed to be done.
Yeah, because I'm a hard head. I would have stuck it out till death do us part,
Yeah. For me, it was seeing how disrespected my mom was growing up, and just how bad I felt for her. Just seeing men disrespect her.
Yeah. So sometimes your situation teaches you what not to do.
Yep.
So you go completely in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's why having mentors is so important.
100%.
To have like male friends that say, dude, this is what's going on.
Yes. Ones that are genuine, ones that are going to be, yeah, they'll, what do they say? They will.
They don't want to stroke you. They want you to do the right thing.
Yeah. I want to say something like, they're going to give you to your face, but behind your back, they're going to praise you for everything you do. Those are like good friends.
Yeah. Any friend who just strokes you is not a friend.
They're not being, that's being disingenuous. Yeah.
He values the friendship higher than doing the right thing for you.
Right. Yep. Joey, we've covered a lot today, especially karaoke. Any final comments?
I admire. I admired you from afar, and I really encourage you to keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's so important, and even if only 5 guys listen to this broadcast, I think that there are some truths that have been stated here, and maybe some things that are just not right as well. I'm still learning. I might have phrased it the right way or said the right truth. Maybe I'll learn a different truth tomorrow. But I think that having your show and the way you present this and your mission that you have for your broadcast, it's very clear. Your questions get right at where you need to go. And so I guess the last thing I would say is bravo for having the show.
I appreciate that, Joey. Thank you so much. I am looking forward to doing this again with you. I hope that we can do that again. Yeah. Do this again. Yeah. Awesome.
Very cool.
Joey Ventura has shown us that legacy isn't just about what you build. It's about how you love, how you laugh, and how you show up when the spotlight fades. Thanks for joining us on the Glen Gilbert Connection. If today's conversation made you smile, stirred something deeper, or reminded you of your own rhythm, share it. Subscribe and keep walking toward the kind of love that doesn't just last, it evolves. Joey, thank you again so much for joining me. I absolutely appreciated the time.